Hello everyone. Recently Israel has attacked Yemen for the first time in history. That is, Israel has carried out airstrike on the Houthi-controlled Red Sea port of Hodeida in Yemen. Let's understand the issue in a broader context, but before starting this lecture, I welcome you to Sri Ram IAS, an institute serving the nation since 1985. And if you have not subscribed the channel so far, do subscribe it for more engaging and informative lectures. The recent escalation of violence between Israel and Yemen has sent shockwaves throughout the Middle East, that raising the concerns about the potential for wider regional conflict. On one hand, we can see that Israel's airstrike on Yemen's Hodeida port have been framed as a necessary response to the Houthi rebels' drone attack on Tel Aviv, which killed one person and injured about 10 others, as said by the Israeli officials.
9 months, the Houthi terrorists, one of Iran's proxies, have launched over 220 projectiles against Israel from Yemen. They have targeted international trade routes and foreign vessels, attempting to destabilize international economy. The Houthis' main goal is to govern all of Yemen with a radical Islamist ideology, and as their charter says, bring death to Israel, the United States, and many other foreign countries. With this goal in mind, they have attempted hijacking international vessels with false ties to Israel, as well as killing foreign civilians and holding many captive. These Houthis' attacks are acts of aggression, threatening both the Middle East and the wider world. This week, after the Houthis launched an Iranian explosive UAV at Tel Aviv, we operated in self-defense and struck their bases of operation and infrastructure at the El Hodeida port in Yemen. The IDF will not tolerate any sort of threats, terrorism, or attacks toward our civilians. And as we proved this Saturday, we will act wherever necessary to protect our people.
Now here it's clear about the perspective of Israel on Yemen's attack. Israel view the conflict with Yemen as a necessary response to the growing threat posed by the Houthi rebels and their Iranian backers. From the Israel's perspective, the Houthi rebels' drone attack on Tel Aviv was a clear escalation on the conflict and a threat to Israel's national security, where Israel sees the Houthi rebel as a proxy force for Iran and believes that Tehran is using Yemen as a base to launch attacks on Israeli's targets. However, Israel is also concerned that the conflict in Yemen could destabilize the region and create opportunities for other hostile actors to launch the attacks also, where Israel believes it has the right to defend itself against Houthi attacks and to prevent future attacks also. The main aim of Israel is to prevent Iran from shipping arms to the Houthi rebels, and that's why they destroyed the overall port of Yemen. On the other side, the Houthis' perspective on the conflict with Israel is that they view the conflict with Israel as a response to years of aggression and interference by Israel and its allies in Yemen's internal affairs. From the Houthis' perspective, the drone attack on Tel Aviv was a legitimate response to Israel's support for the Saudi-led coalition that has been bombing Yemen since 2015. Now, as Middle East is burning, this conflict between Israel and Houthis has far-reaching implication for the Middle East. It can exaggerate the war. It can open a new front. The conflict risks the drawing in other countries such as Saudi Arabia, Iran and Egypt, and potentially leading to a wider regional war. It reinforces sectarian divisions also, putting Sunni countries against the Shia forces and further entrenching the regional sectarian fault line. Now the humanitarian crisis that Yemen is facing is going worse day by day, with millions facing famine, diseases and displacement. Overall, regional stability is undermined and creating an environment that is conducive to extremism and terrorism. With that, global energy security is also threatened, as Yemen's location near Bab el-Mandeb Strait, which is a critical oil shipping route, raises concerns about these supply disruptions also. Now with that, There is also one possibility that this conflict can bring in some global powers such as United States, Russia and China, further complicating the regional dynamics. With that, India's strategic interests in this region, including energy security, counter-terrorism, trade and investment, could be impacted. Any instability or conflict could lead to difficult choices and diplomatic challenges for India, making it essential for the country to closely monitor the situation and take necessary measures to protect its own interest. Now at last, if you have watched this lecture completely and consciously, there is one multiple choice question for you. Which of the following strait is located off the coast of Yemen and connects the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden? Option A, Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Option B, Strait of Hormuz. Option C, Suez Canal. Option D, Bosphorus Strait. The one who will give the right answer will be given heart. And at last, I hope that you loved this session and got a chance to learn a lot of things. For such more videos, stay connected with us and do press the like button. Thank you and may God bless you all.